Hello everyone, welcome to the online course on Industrializing Africa through Trade. This course is divided into 5 modules. Apart from the first module, which is based on the Economic Report on Africa 2016, all the other modules are based on the Economic Report on Africa 2015. The Economic Report on Africa is often abbreviated to ERA. We shall now present you with overviews on all the modules.
Module 1 is based on Chapter 1 of the Economic Report on Africa 2016. This chapter provides you with the up-to-date information on the status of Africa's economic development and emerging issues for development. The module includes more than 20 figures and tables to facilitate your understanding. The module begins with an overview of recent trends in economic development in Africa. This is followed by a discussion on medium-term growth prospects for the continent. Thereafter, an overview of recent social developments in Africa is presented. This overview covers issues such as poverty, inequality, unemployment, population growth, youth, and urbanization. The module wraps up with conclusions and policy recommendations.
This module 2 is based on Chapter 3 of the Economic Report on Africa. The module will examine the theoretical framework and evidence for a trade policy that potentially promotes industrialization while ensuring coherence with other national policies in a context of a shrinking policy space open to countries. In the context of Africa, the theoretical framework as well as empirical evidence suggests that trade, under certain conditions, can be a veritable tool to promote industrial development and structural transformation of the continent. Indeed, in the successful trade-induced industrialization should be interactive, coherent with the country's development strategy, iterative, evolving, and highly selective. This module will also explore at which extent policy has been effective and coherent with other policies, in particular industrial policies in Africa. This is Module 3, based on Chapter 4 of the Economic Report on Africa. This module will focus on repositioning Africa in global value chains and facilitating trade in intermediate and services. Global value chains have become an important feature in today's global economy. Developing countries integrate into global trade mainly through these value chains. However, most developing countries with high participations are at the lowest rung of global value chains. This is mainly due to technical constraints and control of the production chain by the large firms. That is the case of African countries, a situation which does not guarantee structural transformation of the continent. The module will discuss constraints and opportunities for Africa to maximize its participation in global value chains. A special attention will be devoted to how firms across the continent can seize trade opportunities via regional value chains. The module will shed light on how establishing service hubs and regional value chains can help African countries exploit each other's capabilities and boost competitiveness. The main argument is that regional value chains are easier to organize and offer a better platform for economies of scale than global chains.
Module 4 is based on Chapter 5 of ERA 2015. It uses recent data and empirical evidence to examine how trade agreements can advance or hinder Africa's industrialization. In particular, the module explores the impacts on industrialization of the following: preferential trade schemes, regional integration, and reciprocal trade agreements between Africa and other parts of the world. The module concludes by highlighting the importance of properly sequencing various trade policies to best support Africa's industrialization.
Module 5 is the last in the series and is based on Chapter 6 of ERA 2015. It is a relatively short module that essentially recaps the main themes and key findings of the report. The module concludes by distilling a concise set of policy recommendations which underpin the central argument presented that the greater the adoption of these policy recommendations, the higher the likelihood that African economies can industrialize through trade. Good luck with the course. We hope that you will find it both useful and enjoyable.